Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Hello. Hi. What's up, guys? I don't have my headphones in because I just didn't feel like having them in my ear. So hopefully you can hear me good. Hopefully you all can hear me well without me having to have some headphones all in my ear because I'd rather not. Rather not. Hope everyone is having a great day. Hopefully everyone had a good morning. It's Friday. It's rainy where I'm at. It's rainy. It's a little cold. And like low key foggy a bit. There's no sun. You can't even see no clouds. It's crazy. But I'm having a good day. So that works for me. I'm definitely not having a bad day. It's a little busy, but that's to be expected. Because work is work, right? Duh. Duh. And I'm on time here with you guys. Won't he do it? Yes, he will. Let's see. Oh, shoot. I got to charge. I got to plug in my other device so I can play some music, some background music, some elevate your music. Should have brought my scarf out here, but que sera, sera. Bump it. I'm not going back inside. Hold on. So yeah, today's topic, because I haven't done a topic live in a grip. So I said, let me get back on my Dean. Hey, Shelly Shells. Shelly, I was thinking about you last night. I was making me some coffee, and it was like about quarter to 10. And I'm like, I should tag Shelly. Next time I will. I said I should tag Shelly and tell her like it's coffee time, girl. Because remember you said when it comes to like your evening coffee or whatever, 10 o'clock is your time. Is it still 10 o'clock? Definitely was thinking about you. It was like quarter till 10. I said I should tag Shelly and tell her like, girl, it's time for some coffee. Thank you for coming. I appreciate it. I hope you've been all right. The fam's been okay. So, what did I say we're going to talk about? I'm bugging. Oh, yes. What is groupthink? I don't know if you guys ever heard of that before or if you know what it is. She said, yes, ma'am. Tag me, girl. Next time I'm going to tag you because you already know. Yeah, I don't know if you guys ever heard of groupthink before, but that's something I was thinking about yesterday, a topic I was thinking about. And I said, you know what? We can talk about it. What the hoots? But you can only do that from YouTube. You can't do it straight from StreamYard, at least not from the phone. So, anywho, yeah, I want to talk about that. Just like have a broad conversation. Have a broad conversation about what is what is the meaning of definition of groupthink? What is that type of behaviors? How to counteract it? Whoop de doo. Those type of things. I don't know why. Sorry, guys. Oh, this does not want me to be great today. Please hold. What the heck? Let me see. Jeez Louise. All right, you know what, guys? We're not doing any music today because this outlet is weird and it's not working. So it's not meant to be as far as the music. As far as the music. But yeah, I was thinking about that topic yesterday. So I said, what the hoot? We can talk about it. Okay. So let's get started. It says groupthink is a psychological phenomenon occurring when the desire for group cohesiveness and consensus overrides critical evaluation, leading to irrational or dysfunctional decision making. Says coined by social psychologist Irving Janis in 1972, it is characterized by self censorship, illusion of what's this word? I don't like that word. And pressure to conform. It is mitigated by encouraging diverse perspectives, assigning devil's advocates, and fostering an open, critical culture. Which I feel like is best because we don't all think the same. I don't like that. I didn't like that I couldn't get that word. Hold on. Illusion of anonymity. 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 I don't like that. Anyway, so that is the definition for what groupthink is, at least the one that's listed. Okay. And then it gave us some key characteristics and symptoms of someone who has the groupthink mentality, or people, really. So the first one, it says illusion of, see that word again, illusion of, I don't like that I can't say that word. Anonymity. Anonymity. Illusion of anonymity. I'm probably saying that word wrong, guys, but don't judge me. Which is the false belief that everyone in the group is in agreement. Unim- Anonymity. Unanimity. I'm gonna figure that out later. But illusion of anonymity, the false belief that everyone in the group is in agreement. So that's the first key characteristic and symptom of groupthink. The second one is self censorship, which means members withhold their doubts or dissenting opinions to avoid conflict. Y'all know anybody who doesn't like any type of conflict? You know anybody like that, or are you like that? We kind of like, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, find yourself walking around on eggshells. You said it's always something. As far as what you talk about, Shelly? Look, girl, I couldn't get this music to start playing because the charger wasn't able to charge because this outlet that's where I'm sitting sucks. I can't pronounce this word. Unanimity. So that's bothering me. But we just gonna rock on, girl. But I don't know what you mean when you said it's always something. Because it always is. Hey, Lovelace. She says, peace be a she in chat. Happy Friday, everyone. Make it the best day. Girl, we taking these lemons. I had posted some anonymity and anonymity. The heck? I'm gonna get it later. I don't like that. I don't like that. Heck yeah. And I did a post not too long ago. Anonymity about what we're gonna do with lemons. Life wanna hand them to us. What I say? I said we could do some lemonade. We can do some lemon bars. We could do some lemon meringue pie. Shoot, we're gonna take them lemons and make it do what it do. Lemon parfait. Okay, don't they have a drink called lemon drop? Last time I walked on eggshells with my grandma. Yeah, that's so funny. Or we can use the juice from them and clean. Hello. Get that citrusy smell in the air. We're going to make it do what it do because the show must go on regardless. All right, so we went over the first two. The third one is direct pressure. Direct pressure. Pressure is applied to members who express doubt about the group's shared illusions. Like, meaning, as soon as you offer a different idea or a different solution, then they're gonna be on your back, on your neck. Like, oh, so you don't like our idea? Oh, da, 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 da. What do you think? You're too good? You're not a team player. They love to hit you with that team player stuff. Like, yo, I have a brain and it works differently than yours. The fudge. Don't start, girl. Lovelace, don't start. Says we plant the seeds and have lemon. That is so cool. And who was it? Somebody I used to work with who bakes. I want to say she said the Meyer lemons are the best when used for desserts that you want to make with lemons. Correct me if I'm wrong. But and this was like over a year ago, and she said she was having troubles getting them because they haven't been in season or whatever the case may or may not have been at the time. She said direct pressure. I'm not messing with you, girl. But I agree. I concur. All right. And then there's two more key characteristics and symptoms of groupthink. The next one it says mind guards. Mind guards. Self-appointed members protect. Oh, we're going to just talk about this broadly. Mind guards. Self-appointed members protect the group and leader from dissenting information. What do y'all take from that? Like when you hear that, what do you think that means? Because I'm not really 100% sure on how I want to take that. But mind guards, and mind you, we're going over key characteristics and symptoms of groupthink. Self-appointed members, like meaning nobody told them this is what I want you to do, this is what I need you to do. Make sure you're ciphering out all information before you bring it to me. Self-appointed, they appointed themselves. They put this job and this task on themselves. Members protect the group and leader from dissenting information. Dissenting information. All right, let's see if applied in a hurtful way or demanding way. Really? For real? What was it again? The next one? Mind guards. Yeah. V, stop thinking what I'm thinking because I was thinking it first. Okay. Mind guards can be dangerous. Handle with care, even in a group. Shelly said, keeping it real, being the boss. Like, okay, like you taking lead. I believe you, Lovelace, and I love that because we are gelling with this topic. All right, so Shelly, you take that as I joke a lot, but I'm really trying to add to the conversation. And you are. And we're having a good. I think this is a good topic because I think this happens in various settings, whether that is work, um, because even if it's not with people that you call your friends, if it's your peers, your coworkers, you have to work with them. That means they are the group that you are a part of, whether you're trying to be a part of it or not. You know what I mean? To a certain extent. So whether that's work, whether that's certain things with family, when it comes time to make certain decisions or plan out certain things, your friend group. I don't know if groupthink can apply when it comes to you and your significant other because it's just you two. But I mean, that may be a different conversation because there's some people who are not really mentally mature or mentally strong. So, like, I know someone who how she moved and how she operated and what her beliefs were swayed depending on the type of person that she was with. And it's not a dig at her, it just was an observation. You know what I mean? Because some people are just people pleasers. So I wonder if that can apply, if groupthink can apply when it comes to being in a relationship with somebody. Let me see. In all stages, you must guard your own mind at all times. Stay grounded, however, open to ideas and suggestions. Yeah, I agree. Because the person who thinks they're the smartest person in the room and knows it all is really the dumbest person in the room because there's always something to be learned and there's always something to be unlearned. I say that all the time. All right. Shelly, you took that as what did I go over? Hold on. Mind guards, self-appointed members protect the group and leader from dissenting information. Shelly, you take that as them just taking charge, keeping it real, being the boss, kind of like setting the tone. And then I guess if that's the case, the onus would be on the other group members if they feel like they have an issue with it, you know? But I'm trying to think what they mean when they say protect the group and leader from dissenting information. Like, what do you mean dissenting information? Hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. Dissenting. All right, so I just looked up the definition for dissenting, and it says holding or expressing opinions that are at variance with those commonly or officially held, i.e., disagreeing with or refusing to conform. Okay, gotcha. So I wonder how they would be like what it is that they're able to do or that they do to call themselves protecting the group and the leader of the group from dissenting information. So like maybe if it's like a supervisor or a team leader or something, and if you bring something to them, you know, that kind of counters to what the norm is or whatever have you, expecting it to be brought to, you know, your big boss or your big manager, they may just let that fall by the wayside. You know what I mean? Something like that. Maybe in a friend group. I don't know how that would work exactly. I guess it would only work if you don't have direct a direct way to speak to whoever the leader is, or if you don't really necessarily have their ear, because you may be able to speak to them, but they may not really take what you say with too much of a grain. They might take it with a small grain of salt, but if you bring it to somebody that does have their ear, they may give it a second go at it, second thought. I don't know if you guys are catching when I'm throwing, but I wonder what they mean by that. Um, People pleasers seek something. I just don't know what it could be though. Maybe just wanting an extra level of appreciation and understanding. I can see that. And I can see or envision that most people that are people pleasers may have been neglected or not loved on properly at whatever stage in their life, whether it's the adolescent stage or um, in the workplace, or maybe they've had life experiences with significant others who didn't really appreciate them, whatever the case may be. Um, which can be so risky for them because that's such an easy way to get taken advantage of, because we just live in the world that we live in, and not everybody is cut out the same way you are, to say the least. See, you said, you must think, feel, accept what I do, etc. Yeah, like as if you are not your own person with your own thought process. You know what I mean? Now, you can tell if somebody is visibly trying to just be a contrarian. You know what I mean? Because I believe in the saying, you either part of the solution or you part of the problem. So if somebody is always opposed or are on the other side of things but don't ever have any type of solution or possible solution, I can understand how, how that could be annoying. Or if they're just visibly and blatantly just being dumb, because some people just don't think before they speak, but to not give it a second thought at all is not cool. Anything outside of how we all feel could be a way to describe the word. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's mind control over Debo. Word is born. Hey, Uncle L. Good afternoon. Thank you for coming. He says, "Are the peace pleasers may truly understand peace and they just want folks to be or find their peace." Right. And I think that's something we're going to go over when it comes to like how to counter the whole group think. Um, Uncle L brought drinks and pizza. Hey, it's a party now. Hey, I brought the wings, but I'm tearing up the flats. Y'all can have at the drums though. Oh, you guys are speaking to each other. Cool beans. That common sense be so common at times. It don't be common, girl. Unfortunately. Which is why you'll have a whole heap load of you brought a salad. I like French dressing or French's bougie cousin, the Catalina. That's about the only dressing I like on salads. But yeah, common sense is not as common as you would think, which is why you'll have a lot of people who are book smart and have college education, secondary educations, but they don't have no real life experiences because maybe for whatever reason they don't have no quote unquote street smarts, no know it all. So they have to learn certain lessons the hard way. You know what I mean? In life, it almost be invisible, kind of common sense. Yeah, it just is what it is. Let's see. And then it says the last key characteristic and symptom of groupthink that they gave us is collective rationalization. Say that 3 times. Collective rationalization. The group ignores warning signs and rationalizes decisions, believing they are invulnerable. The group ignores warning signs and rationalizes, decisions, believing they are invulnerable. They ignore warning signs. Like they can't be touched type of ordeal. That's what I take from that. Collective rationalization. The group ignores warning signs and rationalizes decisions, believing they are invulnerable. Like nothing, like they're good. Like that would never happen to them. Whatever that is, they don't have to really worry about whatever red flags because they got this. Is what I'm taking from that. But what do y'all think? Because I don't know if I'm bugging or not. I have some street smarts, but I'm a joyful spirit, Lisa. I was speaking to strangers when I visited New York City. Oh, you about to hear a bunch of kids? Don't you know the children are the future? Um, Visited NYC, and my folks were like, "Stop that!" Before we're just talking to people, stranger danger. Oh my goodness! Don't you know you prime picking to get snatched up, girl? What's wrong with you? That's what I took from that. Believe what I believe or get missing. Let me see. Group ignores warning signs and rationalizes decisions, believing they are invulnerable. Like, you can't be touched. Like, we good. But I'm trying to figure out if that's exactly what that means. So I be thinking of simple, silly examples. Like, okay, for example, say if the group wanted to go to the beach, right? So we had made plans to go to the beach. Okay, we're gonna have a beach day, whoop de doo. And we're supposed to get there no later than, let's just say 4 o'clock for whatever reason, right? 4 o'clock. But it's a hot summer day, so 4 o'clock, we good. And for whatever reason, by the time everybody gets in touch with each other, it's almost, and mind you, it's hot, so it's still hot even in the evening. But by the time everybody gets in touch with each other, it's almost like 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whatever, close to high tide. So one or two people might say, I don't think it's a good idea for us to go swimming when it's high tide because that's dangerous. And but everybody else really wants to go swimming because they're hot. That might be a situation like that. The group might ignore the fact that that is not a good idea to go swimming when it's high tide because they all are hot and just want to go to the beach. I don't know if that's a good example, but that's the example I just came up with in my head. Shoot. Some groups will allow you to come up missing if you don't believe what they believe in and conform. I'm telling you, it's so dangerous, that thought process, which is why I kind of hyper focus on it. I did a live on crab in a bucket mentality. It's bad dope. They can't make a rational decision, and everybody' opinion counts. Shelly. It's been a thing forever in time, for sure. And it's just bad dope. It's not productive. And like you said, depending on the setting, it can be very dangerous. Very dangerous. All right. So those were the key characteristics and symptoms of groupthink. And then it says how it affects decision making. Let's see. Group Groupthink leads to poor, often disastrous decisions, not leading, disastrous decisions by limiting the discussion. Too many distractions right now. Sorry, y'all. By limiting the discussion to only a few alternatives, failing to analyze risks, and disregarding expert advice. It stifles innovation and causes groups to ignore ethical consequences. Let's read that again since I messed that up completely. Groupthink leads to poor, often disastrous decisions by limiting the discussion to only a few alternatives, failing to analyze risks, and disregarding expert advice. It stifles innovation and causes groups to ignore ethical consequences. Simple. Simple. It says historical examples include the Bay of Pigs invasion and Pearl Harbor. 'Cause those things, that was just dumb decision making. It didn't lead to anything good. And then it says how to avoid or mitigate groupthink. They gave us a few ideas. It says I assign a devil's advocate, designate someone to consistently challenge the group's consensus, which I think that's good. Encourage open expression. Leaders should avoid stating their opinions up front to avoid biasing the group. Huh. Encourage open expression. Leaders should avoid stating their opinions up front. Not to say that you can't give what you think as a leader, give your thoughts, but you don't need to be the first one to lead the conversation if you're the leader of this group. Leaders should avoid stating their opinions up front to avoid biasing the group. You don't want your group to be biased because then that's how you have just a bunch of followers and yes men. Okay. Um, Seek outside opinions. Invite external experts to challenge the group's views. So I guess that really just depends on what it is. Foster a culture of dissent. Create an environment where diverse perspectives are welcomed rather than penalized. Penalized. Foster a culture of dissent. Create an environment where diverse perspectives are welcomed rather than penalized. Okay? It's okay for people to not have the same thought process as you without you feeling like you got to chastise them, or I call it DPing them. Break break into subgroups. Subgroups can discuss issues independently to foster critical thoughts. Okay, so instead of it being one large group, it's a couple groups within that group, which that could work because it just is what it is. Everything is not for everybody completely, but other things may be for them. All right. We already talked about the origin when I read the definition, but we can still read this real quick. It says the term was introduced by Yale psychologist Irvin Janis in 1972 to explain faulty decision making in highly cohesive groups. So I think that was a good conversation. You know, these lives are never quick, but I always encourage people to trust but verify. You do your own research. And if you are familiar with this and you want to let me know something, let me know something. Okay? If you feel like you want more out of this, like I said, do your own research. It can't hurt. We spend our time. Some of us spend our time doing other things. It can't hurt to spend your time to learn something new, especially if you're a part of any type of group. Let me see. What y'all said? It's been the same. It also depends if you aren't able to make good or better decisions. Somebody got to do it. Definitely, I definitely agree. There's nothing wrong with it being a leader. The problem is when everyone in the group they have other ideas or thoughts, or if people in the group they have other ideas and thoughts and perspectives, but instead of voicing them, they pump fake like they're in agreement. But then on the back end, they talking shit, which is not productive. But I definitely believe and agree with somebody has to definitely take the lead for sure. And then the onus is on the leader to delegate what they need to delegate, figure out whose strengths are what, whose weaknesses are what, and to take into consideration whatever ideas or whatever is brought to them. That just comes with being a leader. And everybody is not cut out to be a leader. I agree. Some people need to just not necessarily be followers, but I'll just say everyone is not cut out to be a leader. And that's in all aspects. Um, we had a girls' weekend in Vegas. I had to thank for the group. Hell yeah. And just like I forget what it's called when you getting married and shoot, you appoint 9 times out of 10 is your bridesmaid, but you appoint one of your not your bridesmaids. It can be either your maid of honor or shoot. I've experienced times where the person who was in charge for how this is all going to go down and making sure it goes down good and stress free for the bride wasn't even the maid of honor because they were close on one aspect, like close enough for her to be the person's maid of honor. But as far as her putting trust that everything is going to go smooth like room temperature butter, uh-uh. That onus was not on her. That was somebody else's job. And luckily, since she would be the bride would be the leader in that situation, she knew where her bread was butter. Like, nah, we're cool, but I'm not putting this on you for whatever reason. That's just one example. Some in our group just had too much fun. I had to put my fan to the side and get them to safety. Yeah. Same way if you go out often with a friend group, people have designated drivers. I seen this one thing where this friend group there was this one girl that every time it was her turn, because they would take turns as to who's going to be the designated driver, right? But every time it was this one girl's turn to, well, woman's turn to be the designated driver, excuse me, she always had a magical, miraculous story or issue or plight as to why she just could not make it for that weekend, wherever they were going, you know what I mean? But come the next weekend or next time to hang out, obviously it's no issue, but it wasn't her turn anymore. You know what I mean? So eventually, what they did was, even though they were still cool with her, they eventually just stopped inviting her. And I agree with that. Like, no, because that's not fair. And really, what they should have done was, if she flakes when it's her turn, the next time she comes, it's her turn. Period. Even if it was Cheryl's turn, it's your turn now. But they completely stopped inviting her altogether and then had to have that conversation as to why, because nobody got time for that. Every time it's your turn, You always want to flake. You can stay home then or go chill with somebody else. You gotta think like me, are we thumb wrestling? I enjoyed myself, V. Thank you. Thank you, Lace, for coming. I'm my own group. Hey, sometimes that's best. That's your best bet. Would that make me have multiple person symptoms? Then if that's the case, then you're not alone. Bump that. I'm definitely solo. Listen, quantity, not no, quality, not quantity. Okay? That girl's trip is a part of why I don't drink heavy. Girl, like you just never want to be in a situation where you're out and about and you don't have full autonomy of your body and you don't know exactly what's going on with your surroundings. Like I don't believe or really subscribe to drinking to get effed up. And if I am going to get tipsy like that, I'm gonna be in the comfortability of my home. I don't agree with that. I don't ever think that's a good idea. Um, Bridal showers, baby showers, just regular outings. I'm telling you. Same with baby showers. Somebody is put in charge to make sure issues going the way it needs to go. They say get Lovelace to do it. Listen, because they had the know it all to know, like, okay, you're gonna get it done. Nobody got time for stuff to be half-assed. She didn't want her turn. Right, but always wanted to come when it's everybody else's turn. Like, no, girl, you gonna be drinking these sodas and this water and this social water with the lemon. Like, no, girl, it's your turn to sip on some regular juice. You're not coming. Sorry. We'll invite you somewhere that doesn't involve drinking, like if we decide we want to go to the zoo or something. Even in the home, V, we had some parties at folks' house and honey. Okay, never mind. Listen, quality over quantity. The two Q's, yes, for real. I like that rule. Your turn or don't come. No, don't even meet us there because then you're gonna blow our stuff because we're gonna be looking at you remembering like this heifer. Don't even meet us there. We're not even gonna tell you. Self control is a tricky thing. Yeah, it is. Especially if you got something going on with yourself. Because then you're gonna overindulge, you know what I mean? Then you're gonna overindulge. So it's like if you're in your feelings or you're sad or you're upset and you decide like, okay, this is the prime time to get the drinking, like 9 times out of 10, you're going to overdo it a bit unless you just have that self control. You know what I mean? Same way, they say we shouldn't go food shopping when you're hungry. Like if you're going food shopping while you're hungry, then 6 or 7 times out of 10, you're likely to pick up some stuff that you normally wouldn't even pick up. Talking about, oh, I haven't had this in a minute. Yeah, for a reason. Oh, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Just buying up everything that you didn't even go in there to get because you hungry. Yo, sipping at the zoo would be lit. Okay? So I'm not getting tore up too much. And I got steps. Who's trying to take a flight down some steps? Not me. Embarrassing. Nah. He said, dang, no, meet up. No. Heck no. I don't like people whose word is not their bond. If it's your turn, it's your turn, honey. You always got a magical ailment. Something wrong, something done occurred, something done happened. Yeah, all right. How about we just not? Because the best ability is availability. and you don't seem to ever be available unless it's convenient for you. I don't like those types. Watch out for those sneaky animals, okay? I don't mess with popcorn zoos. I'm not feeding no animal nothing. I don't care if they say it's okay to or not. Shelly said I suffer from anxiety, so I make sure I'm good and comfortable wherever I'm going. You better. I'm telling you. We live in a cold doggy dog world. People do not care. And then even when you're with people that is supposed to care or you think cares, they get beside themselves and wrapped up in what they got going on. Next thing you know, that's how you have stories of friend groups that went out together but don't all come back together, which is a big no-no. You know, we live in a day and age where the friend group won't tell their friend, girl, you're bugging. You just met that dude. What do you mean, go ahead, you're good? No, the fuck, you're not good. Excuse my language. Those are the type of friends you need that is going to have you be safe. They rather you be mad talking about you blowing their stuff or you hating because you won't let them veer off from the friend group to go have a time with this dude that they just met that don't know from Adam just because he looked good and they having a nice time. Girl, bye. You better get that number and holla at him another day during the daylight. The fudge. Take a list even when you are hungry. For real. Even if you're not hungry. Discipline, we must learn discipline even when we indulge in other activities. Discipline. Yeah, that's it. That's a fact. I'm that type of friend. Now, there was a situation where I just watched. Yeah, you're going to be mad with me, and that's fine. She was so insistent on probably wanting to veer off, and they probably like, okay, F it, you're grown. Because eventually some people get tired of arguing with you, especially if you call yourself, getting a little indignant with them, especially if you don't drink, whatever the case may be. But I just never agree with that. We went out here together and you're about to veer off from the group because you done met somebody that you don't know from a can of paint, talking about, oh, um, I'll get up with y'all later. God willingly, you hope. So I was in the room, but correction, I didn't watch. She was insistent on. We got past it, but we certainly aren't friends anymore. People are just so weird. Like, people are just so weird. Ew, like, there's no way. Nobody's finishing. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Excuse my language. That's nasty. People just really don't. People just nasty, son. That's disgusting. Nobody's finishing nothing. The hell? What the fuck are y'all doing? What are we doing here? What do you think this is? This is not that. The fuck? I'm out of here. And if you're my ride, take me home now. Right now. The fuck? Right now. Like right now. Heck no. She said you D-block it. I'll be that. I'll be that. I don't care. I don't care. I will be that. The fudge. I'm likely to be. You're gonna want to fight. I'm likely to be like that girl from Bad Girls Club. I'm banging pots. I ain't getting no sleep because of y'all. Y'all ain't getting no sleep because of me. What do you think this is? Nasty. What was that noise? Ew. What's wrong with people? Word. Like, oh, now you think you about to, I ain't getting no sleep because of y'all. Bang. You ain't getting no sleep because of me. Bang. And if you get mad, you're going to get banged in the head with the pot. Because why would you do that? That's nasty. I'm getting out of here, y'all. Thank y'all for coming. I hope y'all have a good rest of your day. That is so gross. People just act like they ain't never had a piece of nothing before. Nose just be wide open as grown adults. Crazy. All right, bye.